He's the TSM Academy support and shot caller, famous for playing the finals as a cardboard cutout. Treatz tells us everything about that experience and more. Treatz Vesson is a shot caller and support player for TSM Academy, who recently rocketed to fame after playing in the spring split as a cardboard cutout of himself. We got the chance to catch up with him so he could share his tips for aspiring players, explain his thoughts on the latest League of Legends patch, and tell us what it's like to play a high-stakes game as a paper-based likeness of himself. But first off, let's recap the spring split.
The spring split of 2019 was overall positive for me. It was my first time in NA, so it was kind of like I didn't know what to expect in some sense. It was a lot of getting used to new routines, etc. And the first part of the split went really well. We won a lot of games, and then we slumped a bit in the middle. I would give a lot of credit to Peter, our coach, because he's a really good leader as well, and everyone in our team wants to follow him. When we had that slump, Peter brought out a lot of things that we could improve on, and I think the highlight for me of the split was how we brought ourselves up from the slump and how we started practicing way harder and way more efficiently, and we just gelled way more as a team. So that was for sure my highlight of the split, until we of course won the split in the end.
Of course, perhaps the most notable element of the Academy finals was seeing Treatz represented as a cardboard cutout. As you might expect, it was a bit of a challenge. Here's how he dealt with it.
So unfortunately I was forced to play playoffs remotely due to the visa issues I had in the split. And of course it brought a lot of stress and new challenges for me. I was always confident in my ability to adapt in a new environment, which was Canada. But still a very weird feeling playing an important game by yourself. It just feels different. You can't see your teammates, how they react to stuff, what their body language is, stuff like that. I don't know, it's really weird.
And what is Treatz made of being immortalized in cardboard?
I really like the meme overall. It's really funny to make something fun out of such a negative situation for me. So I'm happy that people have really embraced it and come to my stream and joke about it, etc. So I just laugh about it a lot.
Next up, we talked about what kind of player he is and which players Treatz admires.
So I would classify myself as a very aggressive player who's very decisive in terms of in-game stuff. So I like to watch a lot of LPL teams as well as some top LCK teams. Supports like Lehens, Mara and Balan are really insane at the game, and they're just really fun to watch. So those were the players I look up to. As for teams, I would say IG and Griffin are really fun to watch because they're also very decisive and aggressive, which I like. So those are my favorites.
In terms of what other players can learn from him, Treatz has some solid, selfless advice for both support players and shot callers.
I think just some general tips I'd give to aspiring support players is to think of your role as more of the enabler than the support, if that makes sense. Because your job is to enable other players on your team to shine, and it varies a lot from support to support. So I would say try out different styles of support, see what fits you. Maybe you're better on a roam style champion like Pyke, or maybe to play more lane dominant stuff like Leona, or you just want to peel with a champion like Lulu. You have to find your own niche of champions, and then you can start to improve from there. And then slowly but surely you can add on champions to the list until you have a plethora of champs in different categories. And as far as the shot calling is concerned, I think it's a lot about analyzing your own comms. So you can record with stuff like Place TV or Shadow Play and just listen to your own voice and how it fits in either your team, or you can just do it in solo queue as well, and just analyze what you're saying and what you can add and what you can remove from your comms, etc. My biggest areas right now that I'm improving on is my shot calling still. I think you can almost never be a perfect shot caller, and also I'm working on tempering my aggression.
And finally, here's what Treatz made of the latest League of Legends patch and how a new patch affects pro gamers.
I think the biggest change for the average player is the change to Scuttle Crab, where it spawns later in the game at 3:15 instead of at 2 minutes. So that changes the priority of early lane priority in the different lanes as well as jungle. So I think it opens up a lot of more picks in both lanes and the jungle, where you can play a bit more for scaling than just pure early game aggression. Otherwise, there was a lot of changes to supports. Rakan, Soraka, Blitzcrank, Tom all got changed. I think for a lot of pro players, it's kind of it's obviously your job, so you have to kind of take it seriously and you have to analyze the patch and develop new strategies or just picks in general that you can bring out.
That was a quick behind-the-scenes look at TSM Academy. Thanks again to Treatz for taking the time to talk to us. You can check out his streams and maybe spot cardboard treats by hitting the link in the description below. And if there's a TSM player that you'd love us to speak to, let us know in the comments. Please remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to Logitech G for more pro player insight. And if you are already subscribed, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you never miss another video.